Okay, we're going to factor a sum of two cubes and then a difference of two cubes so that you can compare the two processes. Here is a sum of two cubes. 125 x cubed plus 216. Now, this is a sum of two cubes because 125 is a perfect cube. That means when we cube root it, we'll get a whole number. X cubed is a perfect cube, and 216 is also a perfect cube. So this is a sum of two cubes. To factor a sum of two cubes, I always make a small set of parentheses that will contain a binomial, and then a larger set of parentheses that will contain a trinomial. And first I take the cube root of the first term. The cube root of the 125 is 5. The cube root of x cubed is x. Now let's check that. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. X times x times x is x cubed. Then we take the cube root of the 216. The cube root of 216, you can do that on your calculator if you like, or you can start with successive numbers, go 2 times 2 times 2, and then 3 times 3 times 3. Eventually, when you get to 6, you will see that 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. So the cube root of 216 is 6. So that's how we get the contents of the first set of parentheses. We cube root each of the two terms. And we always put the same sign in the first set of parentheses that we have in the original binomial. Now, for the second set of parentheses, first I square the 5x. So I square the first term and get 5 squared is 25, x squared is x squared. And then I square the last number in the first set of parentheses. So the square of 6 times 6, which is 36, and I put that at the end. So squaring the first gives you the first, and squaring the last gives you the last here. To get the middle term, we multiply the two terms in the first set of parentheses together. So 6 times 5x is 30x. Now what about the signs? We said that these two signs match. These two signs should be opposite signs, so this is minus since the first one was plus. And this sign is always plus, no matter if it's a sum or a difference of two cubes. Now let's factor the difference of two cubes, and let's keep the same numbers. You see in part B here, the difference of two cubes is 125x cubed minus 216. So we do the same process, but the signs are going to differ. First, we cube root each of the terms in the binomial, and we put them in the smaller set of parentheses. Cube root of 125x cubed, we said, was 5x, and the cube root of 216 is 6. Then we square the first term in the first set of parentheses, and we get 25x squared again. We square the last term. 6 times 6 is 36. And we multiply the two terms in the first set of parentheses together. 6 times 5x is 30x. And then there's the question of the signs. Well, we said that in the first set of parentheses, the sign must match what was in the original binomial. So since the sign here was minus, the sign here will be minus. And these two signs should always be the opposite. So this will be, instead of minus, it will be plus. And this sign we said is always plus. So now when you compare, you see that they're exactly the same, but the signs differed. For the sum of two cubes, we make the first sign plus, the second sign minus, and the last sign is always plus. For the difference of two cubes, we make the first sign minus, the second sign plus, and the last sign is always plus.